Hey y'all. Hope you guys are staying healthy and safe at home. My name is Lola. I'm the Community Education Coordinator at Keep Growing Detroit, and I'm here with Tepfira, who is one of the co-directors. We're looking forward to seeing you guys at distribution in a couple of weeks, cold crop distribution. And if you haven't had a chance to sign up yet, visit our website and click the Garden Research Program link, and we'll look forward to seeing you then. So Tepfira is going to be sharing with us 3 ways to get your garden started. Turn this around. There she is.
Hi guys.
Okay.
We're doing a crazy thing. We're trying to go on Instagram and Facebook at the same time. And we're going to try to do this every Wednesday at 3 with some tips to get going, get the information out there. So 3 ways to get going. The first is in ground. So these are some beds that we had last year. So they're already formed, but if you haven't started and you have in the backyard, you want to start by removing the patch of grass as much as possible. Use your shovel, scrape that grass off, move it to the side, and you want to get to bare dirt. If you've already have pre-existing beds, you want to take all of your weeds out as much as possible, getting them from the root, and go ahead and plant. So that's one option, in ground. Let's head over to the raised beds. I want to show you those as another option.
By the way, we are 6 feet away from each other currently.
Safe social distancing.
Yes.
So raised beds are another option to get going fast. Pros and cons. Pros, raised beds can look like anything. Let me just start right there. They can be lumber, they can be metal, they can be rocks. I've seen people do it with wood logs. So you can make them out of anything, but the point is that you're not going right in the ground. You're raising your bed up. Cons are you're going to spend a little bit extra money. You got to get going with the wood or whatever material you're using. You got to construct it. You got to fill it up with soil. Okay, so we usually use a topsoil mixed with compost in our raised beds. You can order those from landscaping companies if they're still open. KGD also does offer some compost that'll be available at the regional hub soon. Once you get going, raised beds will require more water. They dry out faster, okay, because they're not right there with the earth. They're not getting that earth water. So you want to make sure that you water them more diligently than you would your in-ground beds. And I think that's it. We do have a one-pager on our website that has, I'll try to stick a link in there that has how to construct the raised bed. Okay, so those are raised beds. Then I wanted to show you containers. We have a lot of questions about, I live in a patio. Or I live in an apartment. Can I just grow on my patio, or what do I do? We encourage you to get growing anywhere you are, okay? So here's some different container types that you can use. The youth at KGD made these last year, so I had some of these sticking around. This is just some lumber put together, okay? We do have slots in here for drainage. You may have some old flower pots, okay? Anything you have, you can throw in and use a container. Your soil mix on a container is gonna be potting soil. Mix it with compost, okay? Half and half. Some people use the Miracle-Gro and things like that. We're encouraging you to use natural organic things like compost in your containers. Come around here, Lola. Let me show you something. Okay. All right. So what can I grow in my container? You can grow almost anything in a container, which is really cool, but you got to think about the size. So let's break that out into lettuces and leaves. How about leaves? I would throw my leafy things in something like this. Leafy things like lettuce and spinach and arugula, their roots aren't very big. Their roots are shallow, so they don't need a lot of soil. So something like this, I would broadcast it in here, and you got a salad bowl, okay? All right. This size pot, I might put my herbs in. The herbs are going to be a little bit longer, and then gives you some space to grow around. Let me show you something over here. So last year we grew some peppers. We didn't take them out, but it gives you a chance to see something. So check out these roots, right? This is a pepper plant. Look how much space the roots need, right? So you want to think about that when you're using a container, okay? You want to think about how much space your roots, not how much the big little plant is, how much the roots are going to need. So think about for things like peppers, tomatoes, eggplants, melons for sure. You need about a basketball size root zone, okay? Can a basketball fit in here? Yes, it can. We could do one in here. In here, we may be able to get away with one. What I like to do in a bigger container like this, think about it in sections, maybe in quarters like this. You can put one here, and you can have something smaller, maybe some lettuces here. Maybe one more big thing would go in here, and then again something smaller, or three things smaller. So if it's four sections, you want to think of it like that. Another thing you could do is you can throw some bean seeds in a small container like this. Let me put this down. You could put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seeds in there. And if you're doing pole beans, you're going to need to put a trellis system. Maybe, remember, these are movable, so maybe move it up against your fence. You could put a pole in the middle of there and do some trellising. Anything you got to do to keep going. Use stuff that's already around your house. I meant to bring some 5-gallon buckets from Home Depot. You can do that too. If you have some 5-gallon buckets, make sure you drill a hole at the bottom. A couple holes at the bottom for your drainage, okay? So just wanted to bring you a couple quick tips. We had a lot of questions coming in. Hey, I want to get going. Hey, I want to grow my own food. How do I get going? So some pros and cons on the raised beds versus the in-grounds versus the containers. But either which way, we encourage you to grow something, okay? If there's any questions, we can do a couple of questions, or we can take questions later in the comments. We'll see you every week at Wednesday at 3 o'clock.
Sweet. I see someone asked us to please save this live.
Okay.
So it's going to go in our story on Instagram, and we're going to try to figure out how to maybe try to save the video and post it. We're not quite sure about that, but we're going to figure it out.
Working on it.
Yes. Also want to shout out Mama Myrtle. She's hanging out with us. Hey, Mama Myrtle. And someone from Paris is watching too.
Whoa.
So thanks, y'all. And we will see you guys next week.
Keep growing.